Sometimes the worst things start with the smallest sound. For me, it was the delicate clink of a wineglass at a fancy French bistro. My wife, Ashley, raised hers, her eyes glinting across the table. It was our anniversary. To my husband, she said, and even then, her smile felt a little too tight, a little brittle. He's not romantic, but he's reliable. Like a decent lawn mower. Doesn't excite anyone, but hey, it starts. The table full of our friends chuckled. Her friend, Chloe, slapped the table, wheezing with laughter. The waiter, bless his heart, pretended not to hear a thing. But I heard it. And I saw Ashley's eyes. They were cool, measuring, absolutely sober. It wasn't a slip, it was a test. I slowly set my glass down. Cute, I told her, my voice low. Here's my toast. Respect is not optional. If you're bored, change your hobbies, not your mouth. The laughter hit the brakes. Hard. Ashley's eyebrow twitched, just a fraction. She took a slow sip, then waved the waiter over for dessert, as if I wasn't even sitting there. If I'd known where that night was heading, honestly, I would have skipped dessert and started packing then and there. The next morning, I was frying eggs, drinking my coffee black, and watching her scroll on her phone at the kitchen counter. She was moving like she'd rented the kitchen by the minute. About last night, I started, trying to keep my voice even. She didn't even look up. Oh, boy. Feelings? You were fine. Everyone laughed. Don't be fragile. I'm not fragile, I said, placing my spatula down. I'm setting a rule. You don't turn me into a prop in front of people. You want comedy? Try open mic night. She finally closed her phone. Her eyes met mine. Don't threaten me with your rules. We're grown. Relax. I am relaxed, I replied. And the coastal getaway we planned? I'm moving it. I'll be at Chris's workshop Saturday. You can do your own thing. She blinked. Just blinked. We planned that. Wine country. We did plan it, I agreed. But you used past tense on my dignity. Plans change. Her jaw set. You're punishing me. No, I said, picking up a paper towel to use as a coaster. She hates rings on the counter. I'm adjusting access. I'm freezing the joint extras. Groceries and house bills stay. Spa days and impulse deliveries pause until we recalibrate. Excuse me? You're not my father. Good, I said, taking a sip of coffee. Because I wouldn't take that job. She pushed her stool back, the scrape loud in the quiet kitchen. You know what? Girls' dinner tonight. At our place. You can show off your new rules. Host it somewhere else, I replied, not interested in being her entertainment. Then don't be, she snapped, grabbing her bag. Try silence. You might nail it. I let her walk out. Then I texted Chris. Asterisk move the Saturday barbecue to your place, not mine. No explanations, asterisk he sent a thumbs up and a question mark. I didn't answer. If Ashley wanted an audience, she wasn't getting my house as a stage. Later that day, my coworker, David, stepped into my office doorway. You look like a guy who traded cable for rabbit ears, he observed. I traded peace for proof, I told him. Rough night. Test pattern at dinner. I'm not playing along. Need a couch at my place? He asked, tapping the doorframe. I'm good. I'm changing the rules, not running. He nodded slowly. Rules are good. If you enforce them. He wasn't wrong. I had a list for that. Saturday at Chris's workshop smelled like oil and old records. Chris is a blunt guy, an electrician. Says what he means. He rolled a creeper across the floor. You moved the barbecue, he said. That's new. Control the terrain, I answered. Today is about breaks and burgers. And maybe not letting my life turn into open season. He tossed me a rag. You finally mad? No, I said, shaking my head. I'm done being interesting to the wrong people. Ashley was late, of course. When she finally arrived, she wore that soft sweater she always saves for apologies, and a face that suggested she'd practiced in the mirror. Chloe came with her, carrying a store-bought pie like a trophy. Chloe wrinkled her nose as she walked in. This place needs a candle, Chris muttered under his breath. It needs fewer tourists, I mumbled back, turning up the radio. Ashley floated over. Hi, baby, she cooed, placing a hand on my shoulder. About the joke. I went too far. You did? I asked, meeting her gaze. I was nervous, she continued, a practice sigh escaping her lips. Everyone was married or getting engaged. I panicked and made light. I shouldn't have. Noted, I said simply. She blinked. That's it? Noted? You wanted acknowledgement. You got it. I'm not writing an essay. Chloe cut in, a little too quickly. He's sulking. I wiped my hands on the rag. Chloe, you're out of your lane. Chris barked a laugh, then coughed to hide it. Ashley's voice softened, trying another angle. Let me make it up to you. I'll handle dinner. I'll fix the budget this week. You hate spreadsheets, I pointed out. I don't hate spreadsheets, I replied. I hate confused money. Here's how it's going, separate checking for you, separate for me. The joint account stays for bills. We both see everything. I'll set it up Monday. No more guessing. Her eyes thinned, just a little. So, I'm on an allowance now? No. You're on clarity. So am I. Chloe nudged Ashley. See? He wants control. Classic. I looked at Chloe until she finally looked away. Classic is friends who eat your food and talk like they pay your mortgage. News for you? They don't. Ashley lifted her palms in a gesture of surrender. Okay. You win. We'll try it your way. We're not trying, I corrected her. We're doing. Monday morning. I'll send the routing info. She pasted on a smile, a little too bright. Great teamwork. She kissed my cheek, light and rehearsed. The first illusion of change. Right on schedule. I didn't melt. I passed her the spatula and let her flip burgers, like a truce token. By late afternoon, Chloe perched on a folding chair and announced, game night next weekend. Everyone's coming to your place. We'll do charades. Ashley is a riot. Ashley glanced at me. Fun. No, I replied. I'm done hosting shows. If you want to play, book a venue without my name on the deed. Chloe scoffed. Wow, someone's cranky. Someone's done, I told her. Chris, you on grill or me? Chris reached for the tongs. I got it. And I'll keep score. 1 boundary. 0 drama. Ashley's smile flickered. But she recovered quick. Okay, not at our house then. We'll do it at Sarah's loft patio. Better view, anyway. The move was fast, strategic. She kept the plan, changed the place, preserving her audience. Fine. At least it wasn't my place. I didn't argue. I took a bite of my burger and established the next rule. One more thing, I said. Hosting aside, I'm not a default ride or wallet. If you're going somewhere, arrange it. I'm not on call. She tilted her head, then quietly clinked her cup against mine. Noted. The sarcasm was sugar-coated. I took the hit and kept my posture. She'd adjusted to the rule. She hadn't accepted it. That was the point. The night ended without a blowout, which was suspicious on its own. On the way out, Chris handed me a small metal box, spare keys, and a place to drop a thumb drive. He said, "Don't tell me why. Just don't wait." I slid it into my jacket pocket. I won't. The week after felt like the house chilled into a hotel lobby. No good mornings, no check-ins. The only messages were coordinates. Asterisk pick up almond milk. Your shirts are in the dryer. Asterisk she timed conversations like cardio, 10 minutes and done. When I sat beside her on the couch, she didn't move. Just kept scrolling, lips pressed. I muted the TV. We're still married, I said. We can sit like people who live in the same house. She didn't look up. Don't police my posture. It's a baseline. If we're roommates, say it. I'll price rooms. She finally lowered the phone. You want drama? I want peace. Why can't you be easy? Because someone shook the table, I answered. And I'm not sweeping the pieces alone. She stood. I'm going to yoga. Have a good class, I leaned back and said it like a goodbye to a neighbor, not a wife. She paused, processed that, then left. The air shifted. She'd heard the change. 2 days later, she showed up at my office unannounced with takeout and a photo smile. Surprise, she chirped, setting boxes on my desk. Thought I'd feed my hard-working man. You don't like this place, I said. I can evolve. Try the chicken. She chatted about nothing, asked about my quarterly report like she cared. It looked like effort. It felt like PR. I ate, but kept my chair angled away. She watched my face like a coach watches a scoreboard. I miss us, she said eventually. We've been off. I want to fix it. Then fix it. Respect is the project. Start there. She nodded, eyes damp on command. Deal. Good, I said, and typed a sentence so she'd see I meant back to work. She left with a hug that lasted a beat too long. Second illusion would come later. This one was the trailer. That night she asked, a little too casually, "Did you move the money?" I saw her joints lower. I funded our bills, I answered. Everything else sits in my name. Yours sits in yours. Like we agreed. Her mouth was polite. Her eyes weren't. You love your rules. I love being able to track cause and effect. She switched tones. Are we going to Sarah's on Friday? Everyone's excited. We are, I said. I'll drive myself. You can ride with me, or not. She smiled, sweet as icing. I'll meet you there. Girls want to get ready together. She patted my chest twice. Wear something flattering. Don't embarrass me. I checked the time. I'll wear what I own. She tossed hair off her shoulder. Wear a jacket. I looked at her like a contractor looks at a crooked wall. You're not my stylist, Ashley. Fine, she said, like she was doing me a favor. Keep it simple. Smiling helps. Friday morning, I sent 2 emails, called a banker, and took a long lunch. Then I sat in a quiet conference room, signed a stack of papers, and put my marriage on a timeline. No judges in the room, just forms and a witness and my driver's license. When I walked back into the office, David looked up. You look lighter. I filed, I told him. He whistled low. You sure? Yes. You tell her? Not yet. Timing matters. You're cold. No, I said. I'm clear. He nodded. If you need help moving anything, say it. I don't ask questions. I'll ask, I told him, and emailed Chris a copy of one document. Then I tucked the originals in the metal box in my desk drawer. I changed the safe pin at home that evening, then cleaned out the glove compartment of my truck. Ashley noticed nothing. She was busy with hair and nails for Sarah's rooftop. At 10, she came into the kitchen in a silk dress and did a little twirl. Do you like it? It's a dress, I said. If you like it, wear it. She rolled her eyes. Try not to sound like a mechanic on the phone. I like being a mechanic. Stuff breaks. I fix it. She picked up her clutch. You break it, you fix it, she said softly, a line with teeth. Then she kissed me on the cheek and left with Chloe, perfume trailing like a line you're supposed to follow. I didn't. I took a slow shower, grabbed a simple jacket just to be unpredictable, and drove myself. Sarah's loft patio was glass, string lights, and people who liked string lights. Sarah, tall and loud, hugged me too long. Where's your other half? On her way, I said, or in the mirror. Chris appeared with a ginger ale and a face that said, watch your corners. David raised his cup from across the patio. I nodded at both. I like witnesses. Ashley arrived half an hour later with Chloe and two other friends who orbit drama like moths. She kissed everyone, skipped me, and slid into a circle near the bar. I joined a conversation with Mike from the office about baseball, which kept my mouth busy and my brain cool. Then the little dig started. Someone asked Ashley how we met. She said, loud enough for me to hear, he was persistent. Like a subscription you forget to cancel. A couple chuckled. I finished my drink. Mike glanced at me. You good? I'm excellent, I said, watching a rerun. Later, Sarah passed around cards for a couples game. Ashley held ours and quipped, he'll fail this. He thinks dates are a chore chart. I took the card gently from her hand and nodded at Sarah. We're skipping this one. I'm bad at charades, good at exits. Sarah read my face and shrugged. Whatever works. Ashley leaned in. Don't be weird. Impossible, I told her. I was born interesting. I set the card on the table and walked to the rail to look at the skyline. David joined me. She's poking, he said. She thinks I'll swing, I replied. I don't swing. I rewire the building. Good, he said. Because Chloe's filming. Of course she was. I turned and gave the camera a pleasant, boring smile. Nothing for her feed. Chloe pouted and put the phone down. An hour later, Ashley floated over with a third drink and that syrupy voice she uses when she wants leverage. You're stiff tonight. I'm steady. You keep making everything so serious. You keep trying to turn us into content, I said. Hobbies. Her eyes cooled, then tried to loosen up. No, how about you stop scoring points at my expense? Maybe earn some points then, she whispered. I finished my ginger ale. I'm not competing with you, Ashley. Then you're losing, she answered and drifted away. She was smiling toward a cluster of friends, but her eyes were on me. She wanted a scene. When I didn't give it, she upped the ante. Everyone, she called, tapping a fork to a glass. Quick toast. Conversations paused. She raised her glass and stood on a small step. Loving the height to growth, she said. To not settling. To knowing when something's done. A few people said, here, here, because people love slogans. I waited. She looked right at me. I'm leaving my husband, she announced, bright as a sales pitch. We're done. I'm done carrying dead weight. The patio froze tight as a drumhead. Someone dropped a napkin. Chris's jaw set. Chloe's smile was feral. I heard nothing else. That was the kill turn. The thing you don't walk back from. Here's the part one enjoyed. I laughed. It wasn't crazy or loud. It was a clean laugh from the center of my chest. Then I exhaled like I'd put a heavy box down. Thank you, I told her. And it was the first pure thanks I'd said in months. I was thinking how to tell you without being rude. You saved me the trouble. Her mouth opened. The people near her looked at me, then at her, then back to me like they were switching channels. I picked up a beer from the table. Sarah's house. Sarah's rules. And raised it. I filed Tuesday, I said. Papers are signed. Accounts are separate. Bills will be paid. You'll get your copy. Ashley blinked like I'd thrown water on a costume. You what? Filed. It means we're in agreement. Apparently, the rooftop erupted the way rooms do when the script flips. Chris barked a laugh he couldn't swallow. David clapped me on the shoulder. Sarah's eyebrows climbed to her hairline. Ashley's voice got thin. You're kidding. I shook my head. No jokes. You said it first. Good teamwork. Her friends tried to regroup around her. Chloe sputtered, he's performing. I looked at Chloe. No, I'm exiting. I set the beer down, then picked it back up. Actually, I'm taking this. I'm headed to Joe's Tavern, bar down the street. First round's on me. Come if you want to celebrate clarity. The room broke into scattered laughter the way a tight rope finally snaps. A dozen people cheered. A few more looked at their shoes. The rest watched Ashley for cues. She stammered something I couldn't hear over Sarah's quick, "Oh, wow," and Chris's, "Let's go." I walked to the elevator with my beer and my friends. The real ones peeled off from the crowd and followed. Ashley shouted my name. I didn't turn. The doors closed. I grinned like a man who finally heard the engine catch. We didn't sleep. We talked trash about old baseball teams, argued about music, and made fun of our own bad habits. I thanked the bartender by name and tipped well. I didn't mention a single grievance about Ashley because I was done starring in that program. When the sun started thinking about the horizon, I paid the tab and went home. The house was quiet. Her side of the closet was empty. A few drawers open like silent, open mouths. Glitter on the bathroom counter. A note? None. She took both sets of car keys. Classy. I sat on the edge of the bed and tied my shoes. That was my second best day. The week after felt like a well-organized shed. I switched autopay on the house utilities into my name only. I canceled the cleaning schedule she loved and bought a cheap vacuum. I told the lawn guy to keep coming. He shows up, does the work, doesn't make speeches. I cooked simple, shopped simple, and answered the door for nobody who wasn't on my calendar. Ashley called twice. The phone lit the counter with her name. I let it go dark. Boundaries are strongest when they're quiet. Mutual friends sorted themselves. Some texted to check on me. Some sent a raised hands emoji and a time for drinks. A few went silent, probably hoping to keep her version close. Fine. Pick a channel. At work, David leaned in my doorway with a grin. You caused a rooftop to malfunction. I told the truth, I said. It made a weird noise. You free to help with a kitchen install Saturday? He asked. Keeps your hands busy. Good. I like projects. We made a plan. 2 days later, Chloe cornered me in the grocery store near the pre-cut fruit. She folded her arms like she'd been waiting for a commercial break to end. You humiliated her, she said. She did the honors herself, I replied, loading eggs into my cart. She thought you'd fight for her. She should have checked the schedule, I said. I had appointments. She frowned. You didn't even try. I tried respect, I answered. I tried rules. Then I tried leaving. I stepped around her cart. Try picking a better hobby than other people's marriages. You will regret this, she said, because people like Chloe need prophecies to feel important. I've regretted less useful things, I told her. And the look on her face made me smile all the way to the cereal aisle. A week after that, Chris texted a photo of my old driveway with an empty space where Ashley's car used to be. Gone, he wrote. Asterisk, guess who was loading boxes? Not her. New boy with opinions, asterisk, I didn't answer. Not my business. I was too busy installing David's cabinets and listening to him rant about his HOA. He handed me a drill. I handed him a level. And the silence that comes from people who know what they're doing felt better than any speech Ashley could have given. She tried one last maneuver. The following Thursday, I came home to find a casserole on the porch with a sticky note. Asterisk, you know, I never wanted it to end like this. Please talk, asterisk, I opened the lid and the smell hit me like a memory I didn't need. I carried it inside, plated a square, and ate it in. Silence. Good recipe, not enough to buy stock in nostalgia. I washed the dish and set it on the porch with a clean note. Asterisk, thank you for dinner. All communications by email, asterisk, she called that night. I let it ring. Then I typed one email. Please send any logistics through my attorney's office. I deleted attorney, replaced it with mailbox, then replaced mailbox with email because rules are cleaner when you don't flex them as threats. She replied, we need to divide the cars, take them both, I typed. I'll arrange title transfer, I hit send. Her typing bubble blinked for a while and then vanished. The next morning, I met a tow driver and watched both cars leave my driveway. The noise was sweet. I took a ride share to work and called a dealership from the parking lot, then hung up. I wasn't buying fast. I was buying right. Sarah met me for coffee that afternoon. She chose a corner table and talked soft. She thought you'd beg, she said, stirring a drink she didn't touch. The look on her face, I saw it, I said. She told me you made her feel small. I told her not to make me into an object, I replied. We both had rules. I took a sip. I kept mine. Sarah nodded slowly. People are picking sides. They can keep them, I said. I'm not running a campaign. She laughed once. You're colder than I thought. I'm not cold. I'm done. She looked at me like a scientist looks at a clean result. You'll be okay. I already am. 2 months later, the divorce went through clean. She got both cars out of the split. Hers by use, mine by title transfer. She could have dug harder. She didn't. My guess is she wanted fast more than full. She sold one, rented a place across town, and posted a photo of a potted plant and a lamp like Independence looks like a magazine spread. Mutual friends drifted. Most stopped inviting her. The rooftop story followed her like a bell you can't unring. She called twice more from a new number I didn't save. I let both calls pass without answering. I don't traffic in recycling. My life right now? Simple. I work more because I want to, not because I'm escaping. I go to Chris's on Saturdays and help him fix junk he buys just to fix. David and I have a standing Tuesday where we try new tacos and complain about nothing. I've started running the trail near the river, not because I want a medal, but because I like the quiet. There's a woman at the gym who nods when I walk in and doesn't ask for my story. That's ideal, for now. The house is calmer. I put dimmers on the kitchen lights, replaced the bathroom mirror, and finally fixed the door that always stuck in humid weather. Small wins. I wake up before my alarm, make coffee in a dented stainless pot, and leave a clean counter. Nobody is grading me. I like that. People ask if I miss her. I miss the idea of having someone in my corner. I didn't have that, in the end. And no, I'm not angry. Anger's a tab you keep open to feel busy. I closed it. What did I learn? That respect is not a negotiation. You don't argue someone into valuing you. You demonstrate your standards. And you enforce them. If they join you, good. If they mock you, you stop showing up for the performance. So, yeah. Maybe this made you laugh at my early optimism. I thought if I did more, we'd get better. Turns out you can mow a lawn that doesn't exist for a long time if you like the exercise. The divorce was quick. She walked away with both our cars, which was fair by the math we made. I slept well the night they left the driveway. Word is she sold one and moved to a smaller place across town. Most of our circle eased off inviting her after the rooftop. She reached out a couple of times. I didn't pick up. I don't owe anyone the encore. I'm good. I see my friends more. I'm making more at work because I actually like being there. I'm saving for a new car. Haven't decided what yet. Something that starts every morning and doesn't talk back. Which one would you pick?